Hey, hello everyone. Today we are going to start our first lecture of Engineering Mathematics 1. Okay, so we have first chapter, that is mean value theorem. In this chapter we are going to learn these three theorems. First is Rolle's theorem, second is Lagrange's mean value theorem, and third is Cauchy's mean value theorem. Okay, so let's see them one by one. Let's get started. Yes, here is our first theorem, that is Rolle's theorem, which states that if we have a function f, then it must satisfy these three conditions. Okay, what are these conditions? First is it must be continuous on closed interval ab, and second is it must be differentiable on open interval ab. Third is f of a must be equals to f of b. If these conditions are satisfied, then we say that there exists at least one point c in the interval ab such that at that point its derivative is equals to 0. Let's understand this by a graph. Okay, we have a function whose graph is such that from a to b, okay, and it is a continuous graph. That means it is a continuous function. Our first condition is satisfied. Okay, so to check the differentiability, that is our second condition, if we draw a tangent at any of the point at this curve, okay, we will get a unique tangent. Okay, so this means that it is a differentiable function on AB. Okay, now our third condition, just see here point A and here a point B. Okay, so on the y-axis you may see that f of A and f of B is equal. Okay, so our third condition is satisfied, that f of A is equals to f of B. Okay, so now we can say that there is a point C between A and B such that at that point the tangent to the curve is parallel to x-axis, which means its derivative is equals to 0. Now guys, we'll see few sums for Rolle's theorem, okay, which may come for your paper, sorry. So here is our first sum. In this we have to just see that the given function verifies the Rolle's theorem or not, and if it verifies, then we have to find the value for c, which lies between the given interval. Okay, so here is our first function, f of x is equals to x into x minus 2 e to the power minus x in the given interval, closed interval 0, 2. Okay, so as we can see that x into x minus 2 is a polynomial function. Okay, and e raised to minus x is an exponential function, and we know polynomial function and exponential functions both are continuous functions. Okay, so their product will also be a continuous function. Therefore our first condition is satisfied, that is f of x is a continuous function. Now second condition is that to check the differentiability. Now if we find f dash of x of a given function, here f dash of x I got e to the power minus x into 2x minus 2 minus x square minus 2x. Okay, so here I got this f dash of x. Okay, so the given interval is 0, 2. All the points in 0, 2 satisfies the condition, satisfies the equation of f dash of x. Therefore f dash of x exists in the interval 0, 2. Hence we can say that f of x is a differentiable function between the interval 0, 2. Okay, so our second condition is also satisfied. Let's see for the third condition, that is f of a must be equals to f of b. So here our interval is 0, 2. Therefore a is 0 and b is 2. Okay, so f of 0 is equals to 0. F of 2 we get equals to 0. Okay, so here we get f of a is equals to f of b. So we can say that all the three conditions of Rolle's theorems are satisfied. Therefore we can say that there exists at least a point c which lies between a and b such that f dash of c is equals to 0. Now here we found f dash of x. Okay, so now here instead of x we have to just put c and check the value for c. Okay, so f dash of c we got is e to the power minus c 2c minus 2 minus c square minus 2c. Okay, now by Rolle's theorem we equate f dash of c is equals to 0. Therefore we get a quadratic equation, that is c square minus 4c plus 2 is equals to 0. By solving this we get two roots, that is c is equals to 2 minus root 2 or c is equals to 2 plus root 2. Okay, clearly c is equals to 2 plus root 2, which goes beyond 2, and we know that c lies between a and b, therefore we take c is equals to 2 minus root 2 here. This is all about this sum. Now let's move to the second sum. Okay, here it is, f of x is equals to mod x in the given interval, closed interval, -1 to 1. Okay, so here we can see the rough graph of mod x function. Okay, so mod x function has such type of graph. So by graph we can clearly see that it is a continuous function. So here by the graph only we can say that it is a continuous function. Our first condition is satisfied. Now we have to just check for differentiability. Before going for differentiability, let us see that f of x is equals to minus x for x lies between -1 to 0. From the graph we can see here. Okay, and f of x is equals to x if x lies between 0 to 1. Okay, so for differentiability we just check left hand derivative and right hand derivative. Okay, so what we'll get here, left hand derivative, that is limit h tends to 0 minus f of 0 plus h minus f of 0 upon h. Okay, so why here f of 0 plus h is equals to minus h, as h tends to 0 minus means what, to the left of the 0. To the left of the 0, what will be the value of x? It will be all negative. Okay, therefore here we got minus h, and here minus h upon h will get -1. Okay, same for right hand derivative, but here the limit tends to 0 plus. Okay, if the limit tends to 0 plus means what, to the right of the 0. To the right of 0 means what, all the x values will be positive. Therefore here we'll get h upon h, which is equals to 1. Now here clearly we can see that left hand limit and right hand limit both are not equal. Therefore our third condition fails. Therefore the Rolle's theorem is not verified here, or it is not applicable here. Okay, we are going to see one more question, which is f of x is equals to e to the power x into sin x minus cos x in the interval pi by 2 to 5 pi by 4. Okay, so here we know that it is, the given function is in the format of e to the power x sin x and cos x, and we know that e to the power x sin x cos x, this all are the continuous function. Therefore product of any two continuous function is always a continuous function. Therefore here first condition is satisfied. Now let's check for derivative. Here I got f dash of x is equals to 2 into e to the power x sin x. Okay, so f dash of x we can see exist between pi by 2 and 5 pi by 4. Okay, for all values of x between pi by 2 and 5 pi by 4, we get f dash of x. Therefore f dash of x exists and f of x is differentiable in this interval. Okay, now let's see the third condition, that is f of a must be equal to f of b. Okay, so here our interval is pi by 2 to 5 pi by 4. Okay, therefore a is pi by 2 and b is 5 pi by 4. So f of pi by 2 we will get e to the power pi by 2, and f of 5 pi by 4 will get 0. As we can see that they both are not equal, therefore the Rolle's theorem here is not satisfied. Therefore it is not verified here. Okay, so let's now see Lagrange's mean value theorem. Okay, move on to the second part. The Lagrange's mean value theorem, here the same two conditions as we saw in Rolle's theorem. So our first condition is the function must be continuous on a closed interval a b, and second is differentiable on open interval a b. Now if these two conditions are satisfied by a function f, then we can say that there exists at least one point c in ab such that f dash of c is equals to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. Okay, so let's see few examples about LMVT. Okay, so here is our first example. Simply here we have to verify that the given function follows LMVT conditions or not. Okay, and if it follows, then we have to find the value of c. Okay, so here our first condition is that it must be continuous. Now we know that here f of x is equals to log x to the base e. It is a logarithmic function, hence it is a continuous function. Okay, So here our first condition is satisfied, that f of x is a continuous function in half and 2 interval. Okay, now our second condition is that its derivative must exist. Okay, so here what is the derivative of log x? It is 1 by x. Okay, so f dash of x we got here 1 by x. So it exist, f dash of x is equals to 1 by x will only exist if x is greater than 0, and in this interval half and 2 all the values are greater than 0. Therefore for this interval f dash of x exist. Okay, so both the conditions exist. Therefore by LMVT we can say that there exists a point C in the interval half and 2 such that its derivative is equals to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. Okay, so here our interval is half and 2, therefore a is here half, b is equals to 2. Okay, so f of b is equals to f of 2 and f of a is equals to f of half. Okay, so by solving here I got f dash of c, value of f dash of c is equals to 0.9242, and here for the second condition when we verified we found f dash of c x here, sorry, f dash of x here we found, which is equals to 1 by x. So simply by substituting x is equals to c, what we'll get, f dash of c is equals to 1 by c, and here we got a value for f dash of c. Now simply equate both this and find the value of c. Here c I got is 1.082. Okay, clearly it lies between the interval half and 2. Therefore c is equals to 1.082. Okay, now take the next example. Yeah, here it is. Here the function is given x to the power 2 by 3 in the interval minus 8 and 8. Okay, so here clearly it is given that it is a polynomial function, therefore it is a continuous function simply. Okay, so our first condition is verified. Now move on to the second condition, that is differentiability. Okay, so just simply find f dash of x. So what is f dash of x here? I got 2 by 3 into x to the power minus 1 by 3, which is equals to 2 upon 3 into x to the power 1 by 3. So if we put here x is equals to 0, does this exist? No, as 1 upon 0 is indeterminate form, therefore it will not exist for x is equals to 0, and clearly 0 lies between this interval minus 8 and 8. Okay, so f dash of x does not exist at x is equals to 0, therefore our function is not differentiable at x is equals to 0, and also the 0 lies between minus 8 and 8, therefore our second condition does not satisfy. Therefore the LMVT cannot be verified for this particular function. Okay, so let's take the third example. Here we have to prove that 1 minus a upon b is less than log b by a is less than b by a minus 1. Okay, so simply we have to prove this by LMVT. We'll see this next part afterwards. First see this. Okay, so here just let f of x is equals to log x. Okay, in the interval a and b. Okay, so we have took the logarithmic function, which is a continuous function. So our first condition is satisfied here and here. Okay, so let's take its derivative. Okay, f dash of x is equals to 1 by x. Okay, derivative of log x. What I said, that 1 by x will exist only if x is greater than 0, which simply means that a should be greater than 0 here. Okay, so since our both the conditions are satisfied, that it is a continuous and it is a differentiable function, therefore by LMVT what we can say, that there exists a point C which belongs to AB such that f dash of C is equals to f of B minus f of A upon B minus A, and here we found f dash of x. Simply put here instead of x C and equate this, f dash of c is equals to 1 by c to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. Okay, so now just we have to do some calculation part, and here will be our answer. Okay, so c lies between a and b. Okay, we know that by LMVT. Just take the reciprocal of it. As we will take the reciprocal of it, the sign will change automatically. Okay, So I have just rearranged this step. Yeah. Okay, what we got, 1 by b is less than 1 by c is less than 1 by a. Okay, what we got here, 1 by c, that is equals to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. Okay, by Allenby. Okay, so here simply just put this b minus a here or multiply the whole equation by b minus a. You will get like this. Okay, now simply divide this part by b. We'll get here 1 minus a by b is less than f of b minus f of a is less than b by a minus 1. Okay, so here we got our answer. Okay, so here our first half question has been done. Okay, what is our second half question? Second half question is that we have to show that 1 by 6 is less than log of 6 by 5 is less than 1 by 5. Okay, so I think how we will show this. Okay, so just try this at your home by taking the value of a as 5 and b as 6 and let f of x is equals to log x. Okay, you will get this answer for sure. Okay, so I hope you will do this homework. Now let's move on to our third part, that is Cauchy mean value theorem. Okay, so here simply the first two conditions are same, but just see here we have two functions. Okay, f of x and g of x. Okay, in Cauchy's mean value theorem we have to take two functions, that is f of x and g of x. So if these two functions are following these three conditions, okay, so what will be the first condition? That is they both must be continuous on closed interval ab, and second condition is that they must be differentiable in open interval ab. Third condition is that g dash of x should not be equal to 0. I will let you know why this third condition is there. Okay, so if these three conditions are followed by f of x and g of x, then by CMVT we get at least one point C in AB such that f dash of C upon g dash of C is equals to fb minus f of a upon g of b minus g of a. Okay, so here you may see that g dash of C is in the denominator. Okay, so always our denominator should not be equal to 0. Therefore here the third condition is that g dash of x should not be equal to 1. Okay, so this thing you have to memorize. Okay, so let's take few sum. Okay, using CMVT we have to show this. What is it? Sin alpha minus sin beta upon cos beta minus cos alpha is equals to cot C, for alpha and beta lies between 0 to pi by 2 and C lies between alpha and beta. Okay, so let's do this. First, what we have to show? We have to show continuity. Since f of x, here just we take f of x is equals to sin x and g of x is equals to cos x. Now, as we know, sin x and cos x, both the functions are continuous functions. Therefore, f of x and g of x are continuous functions in alpha and beta. Okay, we got the first condition. Now, second condition, its derivative must exist. Okay, what is the derivative of sin x, cos x? Cos x derivative minus sin x. Okay, so they are differentiable function. Our second condition is verified here. Okay, now we have to just verify the third condition is that g dash of x, that is the derivative of g of x, should not be equal to 0. Okay, so dash of x is not equals to 0 for any value of x in alpha and beta. Okay, as alpha and beta belongs to 0 to pi by 2. Okay, it was given in the question. If all the three conditions, here all the three conditions are satisfied, so by Allenby what we get? We get that there exists a point C which lies between alpha and beta such that f of b minus f of a upon g of b minus g of a is equals to f dash of c upon g dash of c. Okay, what was f of x? It was sin x. Okay, so f of b will be sin beta minus f of a will be sin alpha And what was g of x? G of x was cos x. Okay, therefore g of b will be cos beta, g of a will be minus cos alpha. Okay, so f dash of c was cos c and g dash of c is minus sin c. Okay, cos upon sin will get cot. Okay, and cot c will equal to, just put this minus sign here and we'll get the final answer. Okay, so here it is, we got our final answer. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Now let's meet in the next video. Thank you.